Well, new at 5 tonight, opting out. So officials with the Iredell-Statesville School Board of Education rejected a request that would have allowed the display of the 10 Commandments in schools.
The vote came down just last night, but the debate sparked after a school board member worked on a poster featuring those documents. It featured the 10 Commandments alongside the U.S. Constitution and its accompanying Bill of Rights. According to the board's agenda, it was proposed to be displayed in each of the district's schools. But school board members voiced concerns on the proposal, and most were legal, not religious concerns. So let's bring in Chief Legal Analyst Khalif Rhodes into this conversation. So Khalif, what exactly does the state law say about this?
I love these type of questions, and this is really rooted in a couple things. This is a First Amendment, federal law, First Amendment, and a 14th Amendment argument. And so the First Amendment, obviously, we're talking about free speech. We're talking about making sure that you don't have any establishment of religion within our country. And then the 14th Amendment says a state can't abridge on those rights. So just because you're a state, yeah, you get to make laws, but your state laws can't affect what federal laws say, and that's how it applies to a state. And I mean, this is right down the board. Even though they said this isn't affecting, it wasn't religious arguments, it was a legal argument that was based in religion. That because you're attempting to talk and display religion in or forcing people to display religion, now you've brought religion into the conversation, hence the First Amendment. Now that opens the legal conversation. Can we even do this? And the answer seems like it was a resounding no, which was the right answer.
All right, and just to give more context with you said the 14th Amendment, so what constitutional issues are then involved then in the decision to reject the display of the 10 Commandments?
First Amendment. I mean, the First Amendment is the argument. The 14th Amendment gives the states the ability or the inability to do something that contradicts. But the First Amendment, this free speech and this religious speech, no establishment of religion is at issue. Because you're attempting to use public dollars, because you're saying that it's mandatory, those are all things that are attempting to establish some type of religious state. And because you can't do that, that's why they made the right decision. And if they didn't make the right decision, it would have been challenged, and the right decision ultimately would have been made.
Could anyone, speaking of challenge, could anyone challenge the board's decision on this on legal grounds? Because we talk so much about different books that are allowed and not allowed in schools. So at what point does it go protecting, your freedom of speech and being able to practice religion?
Excellent question. I mean, as someone that is a Christian and also an attorney, this is an argument that I find myself digging deep into, is because we live in a country that allows us to have the religious opportunity to do what you want, because we don't have a state religion, because you can come in this country and be a Hindu, be a Buddhist, be an Islamic, and none of that won't be abridged on your rights because of the Constitution. A challenge to your question, would be short-lived. I mean, there is strong constitutional support and historical court precedent that shows and says that it would be hard for a person to challenge. Say if someone said, I don't like what they did, I'm going to sue them. Yeah, it may make it out of state court, but when it gets to the Supreme Court, they would have to overturn 50 to 60 years of precedent to see them ruling in a different fashion.
Okay, so can the display of religious texts in public schools ever be constitutional, and then explain that if under what circumstances? It
can. There's a famous case, the Graham case, 5-4 decision, went before the Supreme Court. Very similar facts. They wanted to have something that was mandatorily displayed, and they were slick about it. At the very bottom, they said this is for secular purposes, not for religious purposes, but it was the 10 Commandments. The Supreme Court looked at it and said, well, just putting it at the bottom is not enough. It has to be a true secular purpose, and this is the 10 Commandments. There's nothing more religious than that. You're pointing to the things that God said and he wanted his people to do. And so how can you now make that secular? But the court said because there was no secular purpose, it's out, and you cannot force taxpayers to pay for it and or make jurisdictions put it up on the wall.
All right. Khalif Rhodes, appreciate your insight.